Market Mantra. Market Mantra. Market Mantra. Market Mantra. Market Mantra. Market Mantra.
Namaskar and welcome to this Monday edition of Market Mantra, the program in which we give you a complete update on the economic news of the day. And friends, today we shall also be taking calls from you on any queries that you may have on economic, business and stock market news. But please do remember that we do not address company-specific queries. Well, you may call us on the numbers 2331 4444, 2371 7106 and 23421050. If you're calling us from outside Delhi, please do not forget to add 011 as prefix to these numbers. Well, I'm your anchor Lalima Aneja Dang, and with me is my co-anchor in Hindi, Vibhuti Mishra. And to answer our listeners' queries, we are joined by market expert Dr. Yamini Agarwal. Welcome, Dr. Yamini.
Thank you.
धन्यवाद लालिमा। नमस्कार श्रोताओं, मार्केट मंत्र में आपका स्वागत है, जहां हम ताजा आर्थिक खबरें आप तक लाएंगे। आज सोमवार है और हम आपके सवाल भी सीधे कार्यक्रम में शामिल करेंगे। आर्थिक, व्यापारिक और शेयर बाजार से जुड़े किसी भी विषय पर आप प्रश्न पूछ सकते हैं। यहां बता दें कि कार्यक्रम में किसी कंपनी विशेष या स्टॉक के बारे में जानकारी नहीं दी जाती है। हमारे 3 टेलीफोन नंबर्स हैं 23314423717106 और तीसरा नंबर है 23421050 पर फोन करके आप सवाल भी पूछ सकते हैं। दिल्ली से बाहर के श्रोता इन नंबरों से पहले 011 अवश्य डायल करें। और सबसे पहले हेडलाइंस के साथ हैं इस वक्त लालिमा अनेजा डेंग
जी। थैंक यू विभूति। Yes, we begin with the headlines. RBI Governor Shaktikant Das says protection of depositors' money should be a priority for banks. Sensex climbs 345 points to end near 62,850 level. Nifty closes around 18,600 mark.
RBI गवर्नर शक्तिकांत दास ने कहा कि जमाकर्ताओं के पैसों की सुरक्षा बैंकों की प्राथमिकता होनी चाहिए। सेंसेक्स 345 अंक चढ़कर 62,850 के स्तर के करीब बंद। निफ्टी 18,600 अंकों के करीब बंद।
Market Mantra. Market Mantra. Market Mantra.
और सबसे पहले इस वक्त शेयर बाजार का हाल जान लेते हैं। प्रमुख घरेलू सूचकांकों में आज 0.5% से अधिक की बढ़त दर्ज हुई। बॉम्बे स्टॉक एक्सचेंज में सेंसेक्स 62,850 के स्तर के करीब बंद हुआ, जबकि नेशनल स्टॉक एक्सचेंज में निफ्टी 18,600 अंक के करीब बंद हुआ। वैश्विक शेयर बाजारों के मिले जुले संकेतों से दोनों सूचकांकों में तेजी रही। सेंसेक्स 345 अंक या 0.55% चढ़कर 62,846 पर बंद हुआ। निफ्टी 99 अंक या 0.54% की तेजी के साथ 18,599 पर बंद हुआ। बीएसई के व्यापक बाजार में मिड कैप इंडेक्स में 0.4% और स्मॉल कैप इंडेक्स में 0.3% की तेजी आई।
All right, let's talk about our main headline. The Reserve Bank of India. The Reserve Bank of India, RBI Governor Shaktikant Das today said protection of depositors' money and ensuring a robust financial sector should be a priority of banks. He advised bank boards to adopt fair practices and customer protection, including digital lending. He added that quick and effective redress of customers' grievances reflect the efficacy of a bank's overall functioning. Mr. Das was addressing a conference of directors of banks organized by RBI in Mumbai. He stated that it is the joint responsibility of the chairman and all directors to ensure robust governance in banks. Mr. Das stressed the need for the required level of alertness among all directors. He also said that directors and CEOs should foster an atmosphere of free and fair discussions in board meetings. So, Yamini, what do you have to say? It sounds good that depositors' money must be protected. Of late, recently we had the government said that banks will give them 2 lakh if there is a problem, 2 lakh rupees, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, there is a depositors insurance which goes up to 5 lakhs.
Right.
So that is one thing which does clearly indicate that there is an insurance to every bank account. but that does not suffice for high value denominations where the depositors are keeping money with the bank. So it's important for the banks to take steps and ensure that there is transparency in the operations while lending or investing in the stock market, to ensure that depositors' money is safe and does not become an NPA or does not become a loss, and none of the banks really suffer a failure which may require an RBI action for moratoriums or other things.
और इसी बीच दिल्ली से हमारे साथ श्रोता जुड़ गए हैं माधव जी अपना प्रश्न पूछिए।
हाँ जी, नमस्कार जी।
जी नमस्कार।
नमस्कार। जैसे हेलो
जी
हाँ, प्रश्न पूछिए माधव जी, आपकी आवाज आ रही है।
सर मैडम, मेरा अकाउंट एफडी में 25 लाख रुपए हैं। मैंने G51 भर दिया और मेरे बेटे ने भी एक एफडी बनवाई थी 20,000 की, तो उसको भी क्या G51 भरने की जरूरत पड़ेगी? क्योंकि उसका अकाउंट कम है, उसको तो इतना टैक्स बनेगा नहीं। इसके बारे में तो जानकारी लेनी थी।
जी देखिए, जो भी अमाउंट्स आपके बनते हैं उसके ऊपर टीडीएस कटता है। अगर आप टीडीएस नहीं कटवाना चाहते तो आपको ये 15G फॉर्म भरना होता है, जिसमें आप बेसिकली बताते हैं कि आपकी जो आय है वो इतनी नहीं है जिसके तहत आपका कोई भी कर बने। तो जो आपके बेटे हैं जिन्होंने 20,000 जमा कराए हैं, अगर उनकी आय पे कर नहीं बनता तो वो 15G फॉर्म भर करके दे सकते हैं ताकि बैंक उसके ऊपर टीडीएस ना काटे।
आज का जो शेयर बाजार रहा, क्या आपकी इस पर क्या प्रतिक्रिया होगी?
जी देखिए, शेयर बाजार ने जो है एक बेहतर प्रदर्शन दिया है और काफी हद तक जो मार्केट थी उसमें उम्मीद भी यही थी कि जो पिछले सेशन के कंसोलिडेशन फेज था उससे ऊपर निकल करके मार्केट्स रिएक्ट करेंगी, पर काफी कुछ इस बात पे भी डिपेंड करेगा कि डेटा कैसा आता है, चाहे वो यूएस का जॉब डेटा हो या यूरोप का इन्फ्लेशन डेटा हो या चाइना का पीएमआई इंडेक्स हो। Q4 के रिजल्ट्स भी इफेक्ट करेंगे स्टॉक मार्केट्स को, जिनका असर हम आने वाले वीक में देखेंगे। पर क्योंकि FIIs अगर आप देखें मई के महीने में ज्यादातर नेट बायर्स रहे हैं और एक पॉजिटिव ऑप्टिमिज्म रहा है मार्केट्स को लेकर के, ये एक पॉजिटिव डायरेक्शन है मार्केट्स के अंदर जो जरूर दिखाती हैं कि स्ट्रेंथ है मार्केट में।
All right, we are now joined by N.R. Prasad. He's calling us all the way from Bengaluru. Yes, Mr. Prasad, please ask a question.
Good evening, Market Mantra. There are two questions. The capital expenditure for the current financial year, for the financial year 24, Government of India has allocated 10 lakh crore. Largely on the infrastructure like construction, mining and cement. Can we invest in those sectors? My second question is, there are many policy decisions is going to be made across the world. Would it impact Indian market? Basically, I want to know whether Nifty touches 19,000 and Sensex go beyond 64,000. Thank you.
Your first question regarding the capital expenditure, yes, the government has been continuously focusing on providing a strong impetus to the growth of infrastructure, where it's investing into the Sagarmala, Bharatmala projects, ports, airports, many other roads, railways and everything. Well, investments in infrastructure, mining and cement usually do prove to be positive through the investments that are being made, but it will depend upon the returns, which will depend upon the company you pick up. Also, it will also depend upon how much is your gestation period before you get the returns. So just immediately investing may not give you an immediate return. Second question is your many policy decisions with respect to the world. Well, most of the economies are facing a difficult situation. Germany has already announced recession. Things are being looked at in terms of the job data and the debt ceiling which is going on in US, which will have an impact on the overall markets and their sentiment. That is likely to affect India as well. But India does remain in its own macroeconomic fundamentals strong, one because of its own consumption, and the other reason is that it has been showing positive growth through a large number of reforms, especially in improving upon the technological productivity which is taking place, and also taking an advantage of the demographic dividend.
इसी बीच मुंबई से हमारे कॉलर हैं हसमुख देदिया जी, अपना सवाल पूछिए।
Yeah, good evening, Market Mandra.
गुड इवनिंग, सवाल पूछिए।
Yeah, my question is there any steam left for which sectors steam left to be from here if you are thinking to invest in Indian market for 2 years horizon, because we are already now costlier what you can say valuation. Thank you.
Well, it's correct that there are overvaluations in many of the sectors, but if you look at some of the sectors like capital goods, you still will find undervalued. Also, in many of the sectors which may be IT or pharma, there are many companies which are coming up with newer projects which are still undervalued. So many of the sectors do have undervalued units which need to be looked at in terms of how they are propelling upon their growth and their businesses. Again, 2 years ahead, one can also look at certain industries which may be like automobiles or the others, and one can also opt for a longer horizon with a continuous returns from ITs and pharma.
All right, let's take a look at the stock market in English now. Key domestic indices today logged gains of over 0.5%. The Sensex at the Bombay Stock Exchange finished near 62,850 level, while the Nifty at the National Stock Exchange settled close to 18,600 mark. Both indices rose amid mixed cues from global share markets. The Sensex climbed 345 points or 0.55% to finish at 62,846. Nifty appreciated 99 points or 0.54% to end at 18,599. In the broader market at the BSE, the mid-cap index gained 0.4% and small-cap index was up by 0.3%. In the Sensex index, which is a pack of 30 companies, shares of 20 firms appreciated while 10 declined. Among the top gainers include Mahindra & Mahindra, which inched up 3.7%, Titan jumped 2.5%, and Tata Steel soared 1.9%. On the other hand, HCL Technologies declined 1.1%, Power Grid Corporation fell close to 1%, and Maruti Suzuki slipped 0.8%. In sectoral indices at the BSE, 16 sectors logged gains, while 4 witnessed losses. Consumer durables surged 1.6%, followed by metal sector, which jumped 1.4%, while realty and financial services gained 0.8% each. On the other side, oil and gas sector slid 0.9%, information technology and energy plunged 0.3% each. The overall market breadth was negative as shares of 1,967 companies advanced while 1,661 companies declined. A total of 181 shares remained unchanged. How would you like to view this, Yamini? Sensex climbing 345 points. We are seeing that it's hovering around somewhere around 62 now for quite some time. We say now that the stability has set in the Sensex market, though the cliche goes that it is marked by volatility. Sensex is always marked by volatility.
और इसी में मैं जोड़ना चाहूंगा कि पिछले 5 साल का जो भी ट्रेंड्स हैं, तो कहीं पे ये भी कहा जा रहा है कि अगले 5 साल में सेंसेक्स लाख तक छू सकता है।
जी देखिए, जिस तरीके से इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ है और ओवरऑल पॉजिटिविटी है, सेंसेक्स में उछाल देखा जा रहा है, जिसका एक मुख्य तौर पे कारण ये भी है कि कॉन्फिडेंस है मार्केट में ओवरऑल रिफॉर्म को लेकर के। जितने भी सेक्टर्स हैं वो एक पॉजिटिव डायरेक्शन दे रहे हैं और काफी हद तक जो Q4 रिजल्ट्स आने वाले हैं उसमें भी पॉजिटिविटी नजर आ रही है। प्री कोविड लेवल्स पे पहुंचना और उसके साथ सस्टेन करना और कंटिन्यूअसली ग्रोथ दिखाना, जिसमें अंतर्राष्ट्रीय एजेंसीज ने भी कॉन्फिडेंस दिखाया हो इकोनॉमी को सबसे फास्टेस्ट ग्रोइंग इकोनॉमी बताते हुए, और खास तौर पे हर समय आप जो है अगर देख रहे हैं तो एक नया मोड़ आ रहा है। जैसे कल पार्लियामेंट को इनॉग्रेट किया गया। वैसे ही आप किसी भी जब भी बात करते हैं तो एक नए रिफॉर्म, एक नई चीज की बात करते हैं और आगे बढ़ रहे हैं, वो सब एक बहुत कॉन्फिडेंस देता है किसी भी भारतीय को या किसी भी निवेशक को। इसका एक प्रमुख प्रमाण ये भी होगा कि FIIs की मूवमेंट अगर आप देखें तो मई के अंदर बायर्स रहे हैं, जिसका भी असर पड़ा है मार्केट्स के अंदर। अगर आप देखें कि जिस तरह के अनाउंसमेंट्स हो रही हैं उनका भी सीधा असर आपके लोगों पे पड़ रहा है, तो उसी की वजह से मार्केट्स हम देख रहे हैं कुछ हाल पे रह रही हैं।
Yamini, they say comparisons are odious, but as we see now that our neighbors like Pakistan and Sri Lanka are going through their own financial crisis, European Union has a high inflation to deal with, US economy itself is fighting, struggling. How do you view Indian economy vis-a-vis the economy of the developed nations? Because we've had reforms, as you said, we are investing highly in infrastructure. We do have very high investor confidence and very high comfortable forex reserves. In the light of all this, of course, ease of doing business and GST and so many reforms thrown in. What would your overview be, particularly because now we recently celebrated the 9th anniversary of this government's...
Well, overall, the economy is a very strong emerging economy and it's well recognized in the World Forum. With G20 presidency, I think we've established ourselves as an economy which wants world peace, is neutral in its stand and is constantly re-innovating itself progressively by introducing technology at every forum, also introducing transparency and accountability through digitalization and e-governance, making setups more cost effective, looking at physical as well as digital infrastructure to support businesses and ease of life for the common man. Another important aspect of the economy which has been seen is inclusiveness, where you see tribals work being done and their care being taken and they being introduced into the economy.
Yes, Vandhan Yojana is a very strong mission of the government.
Eklavya schools, which the budget talked about.
All-inclusive growth.
Very inclusive growth. Also, you're talking about transgenders, you're talking about the poorest of the poor. They're all being brought about. At the same time, the social inclusion schemes like Ujjwala Yojana, PM Samman Kisan Yojana, the crop insurance, the Mahila Bachat Yojana, sensitization to gender, sensitization to the specific needs of the main economic backbones like MSMEs, women and farmers has been one of the impetus which has been given to the economy, which was somewhere or the other missing. Also at the same time, you are inculcating your own culture like the Indian knowledge system. Your Indian languages is being promoted and the nativeness of each one to learn, especially the poor who only learns through his native language, and the knowledge systems being invented through televisions, through Swayam portals, through other portals. An important step for inclusiveness. Disabled, there is something like Accessible Bharat, Sugam Bharat, which was one of the initiatives, very important initiatives in bringing people together. So that togetherness has been taking forward the economy to a higher growth. And what also adds to an advantage is the demographic dividend, which is being given an advantage to the Skill India approach, Stand Up India approach, Mundra Yojana, MSME traders being given a system of MSMEs, and GEM portals. These are all the ones that have changed the way things have happened in the past and are happening in the future.
Yes, in fact, the cooperatives have done a lot of good work, and the fact that the Ministry of Cooperation is with the Home Minister shows how much important.
कई सारे बिंदु हैं और हाल में श्रीनगर में G20 की बैठक, पर्यटन के क्षेत्र में सैलानियों का बढ़ना, तो काफी सारी बातें हैं। इसी बीच हमारे साथ गुरुग्राम से वरुण हमारे साथ हैं, जी सवाल पूछिए।
Very good evening, Market Mantra team. Good evening, Yamini ma'am.
Good evening.
Please ask a question.
My question is that in the wake of the recent US debt ceiling crisis, and although the same has been resolved for a short term, but do you see that in the future, the countries like Russia, China, they are already talking about having a gold-backed coin maybe, or something which takes them towards de-dollarization. So, how do you see the future playing out in these circumstances?
There is a lot of thought that has been given in terms of breaking the hegemony of dollar. And in that respect, I think in the international markets, cryptocurrencies and many other new currencies, especially even India's rupee as an international currency, has played a very important role. Though specifically stating exactly what would be the position of dollarization will much depend upon how fast there would be an acceptability to the currencies. Like rupee itself has achieved a lot within a very short span of time. To also believe that the political scenario is multipolar, and one would like to ensure that there is political neutrality in the scenario so that the world peace is permitted. Dollar backing will be something that will continue to be a matter of concern for many economies, and there would be different means that would be adopted to ensure that the dollar hegemony does not affect their economic well-being.
Right. Well said, Yamini. We are now joined by Anil calling us from Delhi. जी अनिल जी अपना सवाल पूछें. जी.
नमस्कार. मेरे दो छोटे से सवाल है. एक तो व्हाट विल बी द राइट सेक्टर टू इन्वेस्ट इन एज ऑफ नाउ, बैंकिंग, पावर और इंश्योरेंस. और दूसरा सवाल मेरा ये है, अभी yesterday we just heard a news clip, rather I saw a news clip indicating that there has been a decline in the forex reserves. I hope it's not alarming. बस इतना बताइए. Thank you and God bless you all.
Thank you so much. The right sector would be banking, would be one of the good sectors, and power would also be another good sector. I would not say much about the insurance sector for that matter, but these two sectors are promising sector. Another promising sector is the renewable energy sector, which is likely to give returns, and the capital goods sector. As far as forex exchange reserves are concerned, we are in a comfortable position and things have not come in an alarming position. And also India's overall macroeconomic strength has been giving positive signals to the international market. So I don't see that as an alarm as of now.
इसी बीच दिल्ली से हमारे साथ जीएस जेना जी जुड़े हुए हैं. जी सवाल पूछिए.
जी मेरा सवाल यह है कि मैंने पिछले मार्च में एक मकान लिया है और उसके लिए मैंने अपने बड़े भाई से लोन लिया. हेलो
जी बताएं.
जी अब मेरे पास एक प्रॉपर्टी और है अपनी, मैं उसको बेच रहा हूँ. तो क्या मैं उस प्रॉपर्टी को बेच के अपने भाई को अगर पैसा वापस करता हूँ लोन वाला, तो मुझे क्या टैक्स नहीं देना पड़ेगा?
जी देखिए, टैक्स आपका जब आप प्रॉपर्टी बेचेंगे तो कैपिटल गेन्स टैक्स होगा, तो वो कैपिटल गेन्स टैक्स तो आपको देना पड़ेगा. लेकिन जब आप अपना हाउस आपने बनाया है और अपने भाई से आपने लोन लिया है, तो उस घर को बनाने के लिए उसके ऊपर जो इंटरेस्ट लगता है वो आप क्लेम कर सकते हैं अगर ये आपका एक ही घर होगा तब, और ये आपका पहला घर बनाया जाएगा तब. टैक्स तो आपको पे करना ही पड़ेगा अगर कैपिटल गेन्स अराइज होंगे, जिसका मतलब है अगर आपने जिस प्राइस पे बेची है वो ज्यादा है आपकी कॉस्ट ऑफ एक्विजिशन पे, और अगर लॉन्ग टर्म टाइम पे रखी है तो उसको इंडेक्स कर लीजिएगा.
अब रुपये का हाल जान लेते हैं. इस बीच विदेशी मुद्रा बाजार में रुपया आज अमेरिकी डॉलर के मुकाबले 82 रुपये 63 पैसे पर बंद हुआ. दुनिया की 6 प्रमुख मुद्राओं की तुलना में डॉलर की मजबूती दर्शाने वाला डॉलर इंडेक्स दिन के कारोबार में 104.24 पर कारोबार कर रहा था. और एशियाई बाजार का क्या हाल है यह भी जान लेते हैं. एशियाई शेयरों का आज मिलाजुला कारोबार हुआ. जापान का निक्केई 1%, दक्षिण कोरिया का कोस्पी 0.2%, जबकि चीन का शंघाई कंपोजिट सूचकांक 0.3% चढ़ा. दूसरी ओर हांगकांग का हैंगसेंग 1% गिर गया. वहीं सिंगापुर के स्ट्रेस टाइम्स इंडेक्स में 0.4% की गिरावट दर्ज की गई. यूरोपीय बाजार भी मिश्रित और सीमित दायरे में कारोबार कर रहे थे. लंदन के फुटसी में 0.4 4% की बढ़त हुई। अंतिम समाचार मिलने तक फ्रांस का कैक और जर्मनी का डेक्स सपाट कारोबार कर रहे थे।
What do you have to say on this, that the rupee closing at 82 rupees and 63 paise against the US dollar? There's always a bit of a conflict. Export is good for the exports, not good for the imports, and vice versa. Are we comfortable with this, or you think?
I think overall, given the state of the economy, it is important to see that the rupee maintains a level which ensures internal and external balance, which means that we don't import inflation. At the same time, we do not have an effect on our current account deficits. So we don't have too much of an import. So it needs to have a very balancing act, and because it's a flexible float, I think the market clearly determines the rate which is there.
And Asian stock markets?
जी इसी मैं एक सवाल आपसे जानना चाह रहा था, जो हमारे दर्शक हैं वो अगर निवेश करना चाहते हैं तो जैसे कि उनके पास स्मॉल कैप है या मिड कैप है तो वो या लार्ज कैप है, किसमें जोखिम नहीं है और कौन उनके लिए फायदेमंद होगा?
जी देखिए, जो नए इन्वेस्टर्स होते हैं उनके लिए खासतौर पे बेहतर रहेगा कि वो म्यूचुअल फंड के द्वारा निवेश करें, क्योंकि उसमें एक म्यूचुअल फंड मैनेजर होता है जो आपके पोर्टफोलियो के अंदर इन्वेस्ट करता है और आपको बता सकता है, जिसके अंदर डिफरेंट एवेन्यूज होते हैं जिसमें आप निवेश कर सकते हैं। जहां तक लार्ज कैप की बात है, लार्ज कैप स्टेबल स्टॉक्स होते हैं और काफी हद तक रिटर्न्स तो कम देते हैं, ज्यादा एक्सपेंसिव होते हैं, पर फिर भी स्टेबल और सेफ रहते हैं। मिड कैप और स्मॉल कैप में ज्यादा वॉलेटिलिटी रहती है, चाहे वो कैपिटल प्राइस को लेकर के हो या डिविडेंड्स को लेकर के हो, और इसमें वही लोग ज्यादातर निवेश करते हैं जो स्टॉक मार्केट्स के बारे में ज्यादा जानकारी रखते हैं और रिस्क लेने को तैयार रहते हैं।
Can we say, Yamini, that investing in large caps would mean it's a long-term investment? Because usually all those who advise us for the, for investment portfolio, they say you must diversify your investments. So can I say that large cap means long-term investment? The blue chips probably, let them be there as a safe bet. And then, as you said, that if you're kind of, agar aap khel rahe hain share market mein frequently, so to speak, then probably the mid and small cap is good.
Well, I would say that when you're investing, you need to identify your goals. And large caps are a safe investment for most of the investors because they have proved themselves for a long period of time and have a potential strength in the market. So their going down is usually less. So when you want safety of your principal, I think investing in large caps would be good. But when you want returns and you want to take more risk, then small caps and mid caps are the ones which people introduce in their portfolios.
बाजार में सोना का हाल जानते हैं। मल्टी कमोडिटी एक्सचेंज में जून के अनुबंध के लिए सोने की कीमतों में आज 103 रुपये की तेजी आई। सोना 59,456 रुपये प्रति 10 ग्राम पर कारोबार कर रहा था। अंतिम समाचार मिलने तक जुलाई अनुबंध के लिए चांदी 36 रुपये गिरकर 71,193 रुपये प्रति किलोग्राम पर कारोबार कर रही थी। वैश्विक बाजारों में न्यूयॉर्क मर्केंटाइल एक्सचेंज में सोना $1,963 और 50 सेंट प्रति औंस पर कारोबार कर रहा था, जबकि चांदी दिन के कारोबार में $23 और 36 सेंट प्रति औंस के आसपास कारोबार कर रही थी।
And here's a look at the oil prices. Well, oil prices were steady today after US leaders reached a tentative debt ceiling deal, possibly averting a default in the world's largest economy and oil consumer, but concerns about further interest rate hikes capped gains. In intraday trade, Brent crude was trading at $76.73 per barrel. West Texas Intermediate crude price was at $72.58 per barrel when reports last came in. A quick 30-second comment, Yamini.
Well, I think oil will remain largely stable because there is demand that has come through for that.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Yamini Agarwal, for all your updates and coming to All India Radio, or Akashvani as we now call it. And friends, before we close, as a reminder of the headlines, RBI Governor Shaktikant Das says protection of depositors' money should be a priority for banks. Sensex climbs 345 points to end near 62,850 level. Nifty closes around 18,600 mark. And well, that's all we have for you in this edition of Market Mantra. This is myself, Lalema Aneja Dang, and my co-anchor Vibhuti Mishra signing off. Namaskar.
Namaskar.
Market Mantra. Market Mantra.